Hi and welcome again to Check It Out. In the first part of this video we did the unboxing of the Orskey S996 4K dual car dashcam. In this part we're going to be looking at the settings, and as you can see there, when you switch the unit on, or as soon as the unit receives power from the car, it not only switches on but it actually starts recording as well. Now, to get into the settings from here, if you just press the power button and the settings button, you go straight into the settings. Now hopefully this is in focus this time, because I've got to admit this is the second time I've tried it. The first time everything was completely out of focus, so hopefully it's all working okay this time. So you go first of all then into the first menu, which is the camera menu, and we go into resolution, press the on off button again, and you get the choice of UHD, QHD, Full HD, or UHD and Full HD for front and back. Well, we'll choose that one. Then you press the down button, of course, to the next. Loop recording, we want that on, and I've set it to 5 minutes. You go down again, wide dynamic range, I'll get my tongue in the right place. That gives you better video quality basically, mostly in the daytime, but also at night as well, so you really want to keep that turned on if possible. It does use a bit more space on the SD card, but it does come with a 128GB micro SD card, which is really good. You might want to change it up though for a V60 or a V90. I find they work a little bit better with the 4K cameras. Okay, onwards to exposure. You just leave this as it is really, unless it's a particularly dark place going through a long winter, dark winter, lots of clouds around. You might want to increase that a little bit, but for normal use you leave that on as it is. You could increase the exposure for darkness as well, driving in the dark if you do a lot of dark driving night time. So next one down then, G sensor. I put this on low. This is when the car gets knocked or whatever. Basically because if you're driving along, the least little bump you hit, it will lock at that section of recording, that 5 minutes of recording that you've just made, so it doesn't get deleted, and you don't really want to fill up the card completely, so I leave that on low. Motion detection, again, this is something that detects somebody walking in front of the car or up to the car. Again, you don't want it really for when you're driving along, but when you're parking, perhaps you might want to turn that on, so if somebody comes up to the car, it does record them. But as for driving along, normally, leave it as it is. Audio record, well, I leave that turned on. Date stamp, I leave turned on. And then we get to the next part of the menu by pressing the menu button, and this goes into the system menu. Now you can turn Wi-Fi on and off in here. It's off at the moment. You can set your date and time, screensaver for how long it stays, the screen stays on before it goes off and you're driving along. I set that to 30 seconds. I like to be able to see that it's actually recording as I'm driving. And then delayed power off. Again, if you're walking away from the car, you might want it to record in case something happens as you're walking away. So I leave that on 15 seconds. Beep sound, I always turn them off because they're annoying. Language, English. Frequency, I've always put this to 60 Hz because most PC monitors are 60 Hz, and almost every flat screen telly these days will show in 60 Hz, so leave it there. Auto power off, so if it's not recording, it powers off after 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then you can keep it on constantly if you want to. So I put that to 3 minutes. And then go down, GPS, on or off. Well, I want that on because I want it recording not just location data but speed data as well. Time zone, and I'm in the UK. Speed limit, units rather, I set to miles per hour. You can kilometers an hour as well. Daylight saving, we have that here, so that is switched on. So that's on. Parking monitor, so if something hits the car when you're away from the car, it will start recording, so that is on. And you can format your SD card. As I said, it comes with a 128GB card. You put it in, the first thing it'll ask you is to format the card, and then you've got your default settings and your software version number. Now there are a couple of extra settings that come along when you plug in the second of the cameras. So I'll plug this in now. So now that is plugged in, we go back into the menu. We have to stop the recording first, menu. So we've got all the ones that we had before. Motion date stamp, exit there, and then go to the second set. We've got the Wi-Fi, date, screensaver, delay, power off, beep sounds, language, frequency, auto off. Rear mirror is a new one. Now this doesn't really give you a mirror for the rear, although you can use this as a rear mirror if you wanted to. A lot of cars these days have digital rear mirrors, so you could use this with the app and a mobile phone, or perhaps you've got an old tablet and use this as a digital rear mirror. But what this does is the rear camera will show a mirrored view of the cars behind you, so the number plates and everything will be mirrored. It'll be on the wrong way around. So if you want to have it the right way around, you just go into this and click on off, and then when you get the recording, the number plates, the registration plates will show the right way around, the right direction. So you've got GPS, time zone, speed limit, all this is exactly the same, and out we go, version and exit. Now the next thing you can see here now as well, there is a picture-in-picture. So the rear camera is shown in a little picture up there, and the main camera is showing in the main screen there. We'll go into the app now and have a look at the app, and you can see what else this can do. Now there are two ways of switching both the microphone and the GPS on and off. First of all, the microphone, if you press the M button, the M for mother or M for microphone, if you press that, you can switch the microphone off. If you press it again, you can switch the microphone back on. And then if you want to switch the Wi-Fi on while it's recording, while you're driving, so you can use your camera or the rear camera as a reverse camera, or indeed as a rear mirror, you can just press the Wi-Fi button and then go to the app. So that's all set up. Let's now then go. I'll turn the Wi-Fi back off actually. So it's off and it's on. Okay, I'll leave it on because we're going to use it anyway for the app. So let's get the app up and running. Okay, so now we're going to look at the app, and it's called Witcam Pro. You can find a link to it on the website. That's the Orskey website, especially if you look at the S996 page. You can also get a copy of it from the SD card. Once you've actually formatted it, it puts a file on the SD card, but I recommend going to the website simply because you'll get a newer version. The first thing you have to do is actually change your Wi-Fi settings to match the settings which are on the camera. So you have to connect to the camera. Now I've already done this. I'm just going to move it away from the camera a moment so that I can switch over. So now I've connected to the actual camera itself, the Wi-Fi on the camera. Let me just double check that this camera is in focus. I think it is. So all I need to do now is connect to device, and it's buffering, and as you can see there, we can now see what the camera can see. Now it's in UHD and Full HD. It's a bit blurred simply because I haven't taken the protective covers off yet, that little bit of plastic. Now you've got three buttons. You've got the camera button, the video recorder button, and the files button, which are the files. And then move it up a bit so you can see actually. Camera button, video recorder, and then the files that are recorded on the camera. You can switch the camera around, so if you press that, you get the full front view. Press it again, or tap it again I should say, and you get the rear view. It's upside down at the moment. Let's turn that the right way around. There we go. Oops. There you go. So you get a front view, rear view, or you get picture in picture, so you get a front and rear. So that's very handy, because if you want to use it as a rear view camera, as a rear view mirror that is, you can actually have it just on that setting. And as I said, if you've got an old mobile phone or an old tablet you can keep in the car, you could actually have that as your rearview mirror, well, constantly if you wanted to, I suppose. Not as good as a proper one at night though, I don't think, but there we go. Anyway, let's go back into the picture-in-picture. So now we got the main front camera and the rear camera, and then if you want to, you can press the full screen button, and it's upside down, and there we go, and you can see it all in full screen now. So that's the app. Very simple app, very straightforward, easy to use. And again, if I press that, it'll go back to that view, and then you can start the recording just by pressing the record button and stop the recording that way as well. So there you go, that's the app as well. Really simple. Take the phone, take it into settings, go to your network settings, find the Orskey actual network Wi-Fi which the camera is setting out. Click on that, you're connected basically. There is a password which comes up on the screen of the camera anyway, and it's all set up. So it's so simple, it's really simple to set up. So there we go, that's the Orskey S996, and it's a 4K 1080p or various other configuration camera for your car. Loads of features, absolute loads of features, some really good. I do like the idea of using it as a review camera, and it has got that reverse parking lines as well. If you connect this red wire that you see on here, the main power wire, if you connect that to your reverse light, that will actually switch it on. As soon as you put it in reverse, it recognises power's gone to the reverse light, and it switches on the reverse parking aid for you as well. So there we go, the Orskey S996 4K UHD car dash cam. The next video I'll be giving you some sample footage, but for now, thank you for watching.